For today, we're playing GTA 5 with the ROG Ally, and we're going to start it off at 720p at the high settings. This is the first video I'm doing with the ROG Ally. It's pretty exciting. I've used it for about a day now, and it's insanely powerful. Alright, we're in the game now. Let's disable the autosave, and let's count the FPS. There we go, that works. And let's go ahead and put a waypoint for over here. There we go, 70 FPS. Let's make our way to the hill. So I do have to drive a bit slower to try and keep up, or at least match, the Steam Deck run. And we can see how they both do at the high settings with the same TDP limit at the same resolution. So far though guys, it is doing pretty decent in the high 50s and the mid 60s. It's quite impressive. But this card, but this handheld can easily do 1080p gaming at 60 FPS and above, which is very exciting. Because with the Steam Deck, if you do dock it, it's still running at the same TDP limit, and you can't gain any extra power from it. But with the ROG Ally, you have the ability to increase the power and gaming performance, which is insane. Going up into the 70s now, in the high 60s. I think we're doing better than the Steam Deck here, if I remember correctly. The mid to high 70s here, that is insanely high. Sorry, get out the way. Yeah, sorry about that. Going up here, in the high 60s and the low 70s. So yeah, it's playable, obviously, and I think it's a bit better than the Steam Deck at the same power limit and the same settings. So let's go to GTA Online, try again and see what we can do. Playing GTA Online now. It's a full lobby pretty much, and yeah, the high settings still. Let's count the FPS. Sitting in the low 60s and the high 50s. Pretty good. Falling down into the low 50s here. Stop calling me Charlie, who's that? And yeah, low 50s guys. I can feel some stutters here and there, but that's okay. It's mostly running very smoothly. And looking at the graphics, to be honest, it does look fantastic still. It's running at 720p. The actual ROG Ally can do 1080p, but even so, it's looking great. So it's definitely viable as a choice if you are playing this, I guess, portably. And now playing at the very high settings. Here we are with that. There we go. Alright, here we go. Count the FPS in the 40s and the high 30s. It's definitely playable still, I would say. It's not as responsive as before, but it's definitely usable and playable. So yeah, no issues at all. That was close. But obviously if we increase the power limit, we can do better and we can get 60 FPS most likely. And with a higher power limit, we're now sitting at 60 FPS. It's that easy. The high 60s and almost the 70s as well. Quite great, but at this point, it won't be the best for battery life. So you keep that in mind. And going up here, we fall down into the 50s and almost the 40s. We got pretty close. And if I go down to the 15 watt power limit, we fall down into the low 40s and almost the 30s. And back into GTA Online in the low 50s and the mid 40s. And again, you have the option of playing at a higher power limit and trying to get 60 FPS that way as well. The next thing on the list is a mix of medium and high at 100p. And here we are with that. There we go. And we're sitting at 80 FPS, guys. 70 to 80 FPS so far. That is fantastic. Again, it's sharper than 720p and slightly below 1080p. So you can use this while it's plugged into an external display or TV, for example, and still get above 60 FPS at a decent preset. We could go for 1080p as well. 60 FPS might be doable there also, but it's definitely cutting it close. And for portable play, it's still pretty good, but battery life will be taking a hit. But yeah guys, FPS wise, in the 70s and 80s, no stutters, there's no lag spikes, and yeah, I think for me personally, this is the way I would play it on the Ally. Back into GTA Online, and look at that guys. High 50s and the low 60s. That is fantastic. 60 FPS basically, in online mode, with a full lobby pretty much. And yeah, it's playing perfectly. So yeah, playing at the very high settings is pretty unrealistic, I think, for this handheld. At least for me, the FPS loss is not worth the quality gain. So yeah, mix of medium and high, it looks good, and plays much better. Okay, let's back out and play at 1080p and see if 60 FPS is doable. Lastly, playing at 1080p at a mix of medium and high, we are sitting at 70 FPS, guys. That is crazy. It's very impressive in my opinion. But I think at this point, the FPS might fall down into the 50s more often in GTA Online. 60 FPS might be doable still, but I'm not sure. I think it depends on the lobby that you're in. Back into GTA Online. And yeah, the low 50s and the low 60s. Okay, it does fall down to the high 40s, but at the same time, the low 50s / the low 60s is pretty good still, and it does feel quite responsive while playing. So yeah, the option is there for you. I think for me personally, I would use 900p. It looks better on a bigger screen, as well as the handheld itself, and 60 FPS is far more consistent in GTA Online. I mean, campaign mode, it plays fine at 60 at all times, at 1080p as well, but mainly GTA Online, 60 FPS is more consistent than 900p. Okay, that's the first video done with the ROG Ally. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for the next video. See you guys there.